Hello everybody, my name is William Porter. Welcome to this edition of Storytelling Time. This program is brought to you by Red Black Entrepreneurs Network. And we're here with Ms. Willa Brigham. This is our third segment, and Willa will be performing for us today. And you will not want to miss that. And we'll be back in just a minute after a short break with her presentation. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Willa Brigham, and I'm going to be sharing some of my poetry, some of my stories, and some of my art. So please, enjoy. Love yourself. Women are strong is true, with so many things to do, from taking care of the house, the job, the kids, and the spouse. But don't forget some quiet time. It doesn't cost a dime. To go for an evening stroll is good for you, young or old. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Before you can love anybody else, you have to learn to love yourself. Treat your body kind. Stimulate your mind. Nourish your ambitions, and don't forget about good nutrition. Pat yourself on the back. It's strange, but it's a fact. You don't wait on someone else. Sometimes you have to do it yourself. Take some time for you. It doesn't matter what you do. You can go for an evening stroll, and it's good for you, young or old. Go try something new. It's hard, but it's true. If you truly want to grow, my friend, try something that you don't know. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Before you can love anybody else, you have to learn to love yourself. You are a divine original. Nobody like you. You're not crazy or dull. You've been given everything you need. Just keep it in your mind that you're put here to succeed. Shout it to the crowd. Shout it out loud. You know how to love yourself. Be proud of who you are. In His eyes, you are a star. He made you taking His time. The least you can do is shine. It's simple and it's a fact. No need of holding back. Trust in heaven above and take flight on wings of love. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Before you can love anybody else, you have to learn to love yourself. As an artist, I love writing simply because it gives me an opportunity to explore so many different areas. I write about some of everything. And in this particular case, I was writing about Nehemiah. I enjoy reading the Bible, and I wanted the story to be simple enough for everyone to understand or anyone to understand, so I wrote, "Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. It was God who put you up there, and my God won't let you fall. So stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall." Now Nehemiah was a man of action. God looked upon him with satisfaction. God said, "Nehemiah, I have a job for you. You are the one who will see it through. Rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Rebuild the gates and get them hung. I will prepare everything you need, so just stay on the wall. You will succeed." Call him Nehemiah. Nehemiah went to the king of the land and told him of the Lord's great plan. Okay, from the king with letters in hand, Nehemiah walked the desert sands. He gathered his people far and wide. They heard his call and came to his side. One by one and two by two, Nehemiah knew exactly what to do. Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. In no time at all, he had gathered a crew and plans to show exactly what to do. His enemies tried to stop him flat, but Nehemiah would have none of that. They tried their best to change his mind, but Nehemiah had seen the sign. Each team had a section of the wall to repair. He was on the job, and he would stay right there. The wall was completed in 52 days. Men and women gave God the praise. When we work together in Jesus' name, working a job is like playing a game. It's been written and it's been said, in this life, make God the head. When you work with Jesus, you can't go wrong. He's in your corner and he's pulling strong. Nehemiah, call the man's name, Nehemiah. Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. It was God who put you up there, and God won't let you fall. Stay on the wall, Nehemiah, stay on the wall. You may not be Nehemiah, but you might have a wall that you need to repair, so just stay right there. It's all in the poetry. As a quilter, I have the wonderful opportunity to play with threads and fabric of all kinds. And not only the quilts are for making quilts for beds, I make quilt art. And I use recycle because I like things to have more than just one life. So I wrote this poem, I Used to Be Something Else, and then I'll show you what else it used to be. I used to be something else before hanging on this wall. I used to be something else before hanging in this hall. I used to be a long-sleeved dress with buttons on my cuffs, with beautiful beads of many colors embroidered on my bust. After eating soup for dinner, they found a brand new spot. When they could not get it out, I was thrown into the Goodwill box. The buttons, the colors, the collars, the labels say I used to be a shirt, worn by one man or another, clean from their daily dirt. I rode around in pickup trucks, fast cars, jeeps, and on bikes. But one day they let me go. My collar was too tight. I used to be fancy skirts of corduroy, velvet, and wool. I hung the waist of many ladies in the city and the rural. I went to dinner, work, and school, and sat upon many chairs. At the parties I attended, my beauty gathered stares. Now I'm hanging on this wall, no one would ever know. I used to be a full-length skirt, once caught in a closing door. I used to be a pair of jeans, the hugs, hips, oh so tight. I was really something to see when we stepped out at night. Bell bottoms, boot legs, pencil straight, and more. You couldn't tell me anything when we pranced across the floor. I used to be a tablecloth with place settings for 8. You should have seen me with teacups and elegant gold trim plates. The gravy stains, the coffee stains, and juice from roasted meats is the very reason I'm hanging here, because of stain removal defeat. I used to be a comfortable sheet draped across the bed, with fluffy pillows everywhere to rest your weary head. I wrapped you up and held you close so you could feel secure. So somebody please tell me, why am I hanging up in here? I see my fellow samplers for chairs, sofas, and drapes, with swags and trims with pullbacks for tucking in the napes. We could have been discarded like so much dough for cake, but here we have another life. What a beautiful attraction we make. All of those scraps have other lives before making it to the show. Some of them will live again before being discarded once more. These samplers could have been anything, rich cotton, chintz, and silks, but lucky for me, all of these scraps are stitched into my quilts. My quilts are made from some of everything. This is a mat. A little girl told me it was a rug for her dollhouse. So I put 2 or 3 together and made a bigger mat. And it could be a rug. It used to be t-shirts. Yes, weaving with t-shirts is really cool because you don't have to worry about where those stained t-shirts are going. They're going to be the mat or the rug that you walk on after you weave them. This is Cindy Buttons. Cindy Buttons is a placemat trimmed from drapery, leftover buttons. Cindy Button has her own life. She is now a note card. And it's simply because I chose to create her with black felt, buttons, trim. There she blows. She's got a sister, Shelly. Shelly also is on a placemat. She's trimmed in ribbon from Christmas holidays. The shells came from the beach that I picked up, and they have holes in them, so I don't have to put holes in the shells. The earrings are leftover ones I don't wear anymore. And once again, buttons adorn her head. Her face is made out of velvet. It used to be a skirt. Recycle. Recycle. Use them over again. Recycle. Recycle. And share them with a friend. It's amazing what you can do when you recycle the items you already have. Bits and pieces of fabric for me become just enough for that wall quilt. It's small enough to go on the wall. It's small enough to go on the table. But the colors are what are inspirational for me because I like them bright and beautiful and colorful. And they make a beautiful gift for a friend that you care enough to quilt for. And it doesn't take all day long. Those scraps, yep, they make quilts too. They are just the right size to hang on your wall. It's a beautiful piece of art that gives you color and a pop of the African American diaspora in fabric, red, black, and green. Whatever makes you happy, quilt it. Join a quilting group. I'm a member of the African American Quilt Circle in Durham, and we meet the second Saturday of each month in Durham. Come out and join us. This is called thread art. Thread art allows me to put thread under netting. And it doesn't matter what the netting is or what the thread is. The goal is to put it on top of each other in order for it to make a collage. And yes, I have several because that's the kind of person I am. Once you put it in a mat, you can put it in any frame you desire. And be wise about it. You can get lots of frames at your resale store, as well as the scrap exchange. The best part about all of this is in the hunt of finding the supplies, because it doesn't take much for you to have a very nice gift. Other pieces of art that I create are note cards. They are designed to be sent to somebody to say, hey, thank you, you're welcome, come visit, I miss you, I love you, I'm thinking about you. And they are recycled as well. They are made from fabric and wallpaper books. Wallpaper books are delightful backgrounds for many pieces of art. Yes, I made that one too. The best part about my art is it allows my creative imagination to flow, and it does not have to have any rhyme or reason. As long as you are enjoying the process, enjoy the process. I'm not saying everybody's going to buy your art, but if you enjoy it, that's more than enough payment. I fell in love with sticky paper. I was doing a workshop with little ones, under 10 years old. And the sticky paper was ideal because it gave them an opportunity to create without having to know what they're doing. Pull the sticky off, put it on the background piece. The background goes under the frame and you have a piece of art. Anybody can do it. If you can pull the sticky off the paper, you can create a piece of art. So I call it sticky paper art. The making of the art is in the framing. or the framing makes the art. Find something unusual or create something unusual and do what you do best, because the best part about creating is it allows you to be the artist. And the artist in you comes out when you use what you love doing for yourself. All right? Did I tell you I'm a storyteller? And I write stories. And I tell stories. So the story you're going to hear is this one. 3 fat frogs lived in Miss Willa's backyard pond, the biggest pond in the whole county. Sister, brother, and cousin always enjoyed watching the midnight sky because it was always darkest just before dawn. And on this particular night, Sister said, "There are a lot of stars in the sky." Brother says, "Yeah, there are a lot of stars." But cousin said, "Nobody wants to count those stars." Nobody did want to count those stars. But what's that? Flying through the heavens was the biggest ball of fire any of them had ever seen, with 12-foot flames. It was amazing. "It's coming this way," yelled Sister. "Duck," cried brother, and they all hid under a log. Well, the ball of fire did splash into the backyard pond, and everything was covered in fog. "Wow," said Sister. "Do you see anything?" said brother. "No," said cousin. "But what's that?" Well, as the fog disappeared, sure enough, in the middle of the backyard pond was an asteroid. "Wow," said Sister. "Wow," said brother. "Amazing," said cousin. But before any of them could say another word, the door of the asteroid opened, and out stepped a little green man from outer space, nothing like the human race, who came to Earth on an asteroid and lived in Miss Willa's backyard. "Oh my, oh my, oh my." "Whoa," said Sister. "Look at that," said brother. "What is it?" asked cousin, "'cause it's a strange looking thing." Well, it was a strange looking thing. It was a little green man. He had come from outer space, and he was nothing like the human race. He had a big green head shaped like a watermelon, the color of a cucumber. He had big yellow eyes like tennis balls, and he had 3 arms on each side. Each arm had 2 fingers. His legs were long and thin, like spaghetti, and his feet looked like that of a duck. They expected him to go quack, 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 but instead he said, "I look different, but so do you. So you need to be careful who you call strange. Everybody on my planet looks like me, so you would be strange." But we're too polite to say things like that. We say unusual, unique, and different. "Whoa," said Sister. "He told you," said brother. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings," said cousin. "I apologize, but you're definitely different." "I know," said the little green man. "Let me introduce myself. My name is Livingston, and I live on the planet Jupiter. I was on my way to visit my brother for his birthday party, but I ran into some space debris along the Milky Way and got knocked off course. Will you help me get to his birthday party before they blow out the candles, even though I don't look like you?" "Of course," said Sister. "We can help you," said brother. "Exactly what do you want us to do?" asked cousin. Well, the little green man, whose name was Livingston, said, "I need pine cones, white chicken feathers, and a ring-tailed worm." "You need what?" "Pine cones." "Oh, I know where they are," said Sister. "White chicken feathers." "I know where they are," said brother. "And a ring-tailed worm." "I know where that is." I know," said cousin. Come with us. Well, Livingston jumped off of the asteroid and sank to the bottom of the pond. "Oh, no," said Sister. "I don't think he knows how to swim. Go get him, boys." So cousin and brother dove into the pond, pulled Livingston up, sat him on the seat of the asteroid, and asked that question. "Don't you know how to swim?" "No, I didn't pass my swim test at the local community center." Sister said, "Don't you know that Earth is almost 80% water? When you go back home, you need to learn how to swim." "I will," said Livingston. "But will you help me anyway?" "Of course we will. Stay right there. We'll be right back." Then bip, bop, hippity hop, the frogs went hopping down the trail to the only person that they knew that had pine cones. Her name was Miss Greenleaf. Miss Greenleaf had big pine cones, little pine cones, fat pine cones, thin pine cones, lots and lots of pine cones. She saw the frogs hopping down the road and she met them at the gate. "Hi, guys. What are you guys doing way out here?" "Well," said Sister Miss Greenleaf, "we have a friend who needs pine cones because he wants to go visit his brother's birthday party on the planet Jupiter, and he needs to get there before they blow out the candles. Will you give us one?" "Give you my pine cones?" "Yes, ma'am." "Oh, no, I can't give you my pine cones. If I gave you my pine cones, I would deny you that wonderful opportunity called work. And everybody knows work builds character." "All right," said the frogs, "we're willing to work for the pine cones and the character. What will you have us to do?" "Well, I need fresh pine needles. I have a friend that makes one of the oldest crafts in all of America, and she needs fresh pine needles." "If we give you the pine needles, will you give us the pine cones?" "Of course I will." "Where will we find the pine needles?" "Under the pine trees." And there the frogs found themselves, out in the forest, picking up pine needles, out in the forest, picking up pine needles, out in the forest, picking up pine needles, and dropping them into a basket. When they finished, they gave Miss Greenleaf the pine needles. She gave them the pine cones, and they both said the words that you say when someone gives you something. They said, "Thank you." And the frogs went off to the little green man who had come to Earth on an asteroid. He was waiting. "Thank you," he said. "Thank you. When I put these pine cones into my compartment, it's going to cause my asteroid to whirl like a hurricane. And if you want to hear the rest of my story, you're going to have to call me up and ask me. I'm Willa Brigham, your storyteller. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
We'd like to thank Ms. Willa Brigham for being with us these past 3 weeks. She's been very inspirational, and her contact information can be seen on the screen if you'd like to contact her. And keep this in mind in closing. Whatever you may be going through, whether good or bad, just remember that there's always more good things coming your way. We'll see you the next time.